Hello and welcome to the next episode of Smart Money Sundays. Hope you are doing well and are well rested and are ready to have a great week in the markets. I will remind you that this week we have the U.S. presidential elections, and so I personally will not be involved in the markets on Tuesday when the elections are taking place. But if you are, please be sure to use prudent risk management as always. Okay, I do have a lot of potential setups, and I'm going to be going over a few more pairs than I usually do for you guys, and kind of breaking some of these things down and what's going on in the markets. And so, as usual, we're going to start off on the dollar index. Okay, obviously, last week you can see the engulfing price action. Last week's candle engulfing the prior week's candlestick. Okay, and so if we hop down to a lower time frame on the daily, what you can see here is the fact that even on the daily time frame, you can see the accumulation in the break of structure. Okay, and what a lot of people were thinking was that this was higher low, higher high, our break of structure here to continue down, when in reality, okay, this ended up being a singular leg on the higher time frame for a retracement leg, taking out equal lows, forming another higher low, more than likely, for another higher high. Okay, so if we hop down to the 4 hour, you can see that we did sweep this liquidity, okay, with a big kind of sell to buy here, breaking counter trend structure. Okay, and so from a weekly perspective, obviously this being our down close candle now, we would look to scale in, okay, potentially off the open. I doubt it. I think we're going to get a little bit more of a retracement. But obviously we have that 50% of this weekly candle as well. Okay, now the 50% is a possibility. However, I don't think it is highly probable having that steep of a retracement. Okay, ultimately I do think we can trade back into this level for a continuation, but in terms of it happening this week, I doubt it. But again, we need to keep it in the back of our minds. Okay, so what I'm looking at here potentially on DXY is a pullback into, obviously you can see down close candles here on the 8 hour time frame, into this region of price, taking out this singular wick here, okay, and the continuation to the upside with the momentum that we're seeing here. You can see the imbalance even on here on the 8 hour time frame. Okay, so again, there's a possibility that we go ahead and sweep this low here and come into that 50% of that weekly candle. You can see a pretty significant region of liquidity as well, and then have that continuation. But regardless, we are looking for retracements on DXY as an excuse to buy it. Okay, and so upside targets, what we can do is measure our first leg to the upside that obviously broke structure after this accumulation. Okay, measure that, attach it, and that would bring us nicely into 95.50, into this region of imbalance here. Okay, so again, looking for retracements as excuses to buy into 95.50 on DXY. First area of interest is going to be here. Second will be obviously the weekly 50%. Okay, again, I doubt that we can trade back into here. It's definitely a possibility that we need to be aware of. But I'm marking this off as my first area of interest. Obviously, this is my second. Okay, so that is the DXY. Now, Euro, obviously very similar. Okay, very similar, inversely correlated. You can see the buy to sell engulfing the prior week. Okay, so again, first thing I want to look at is the weekly open. Obviously, I've marked off that weekly 50% as well. Okay, but in looking at the weekly open, this area right here, hopping down to a lower time frame, what you can see is that this is the open of that weekly candlestick. Okay, began at London Open a couple weeks ago, 3 a.m. A big buy to sell occurred on the weekly time frame. Okay, so this is that weekly open right here. All right, and you can see on Friday of last week that we traded right into that and mitigated. Okay, so we formed liquidity. buy to sell into that weekly open, sweeping all of this liquidity. Okay, and so, it is a possibility, again, that we do have some steeper form of retracement as we talked about on the DXY. Okay, and if we do, I will be looking for price to take out these relative clean highs here, equal highs, maybe trade into that weekly 50% for another rollover. Okay, but again, I doubt that. We have to be realistic with our trading. Okay, you can see on Friday how we did run out the liquidity, big buy to sell into that, again, weekly open from 2 weeks ago. Okay, so now my first area of interest, I want to scale into this price action here. Okay, I want to be looking at this up close candle. Okay, and so what we can see, and if we drop down to an even lower time frame on the 5-minute, what we have is equal highs here. Okay, so equal highs, imbalanced price action. We have inefficiency here. Okay, so what I think we can do is take out these equal highs, okay, come into our region of inefficiency. This is our 50%, 1.1693. So I will be looking to sell Euro USD at this level. Again, this is an area of interest. Obviously, we can scale in at this level to see if we get that reaction. Okay. Now, if we do end up breaking this short-term structure here, again, we can start looking at these higher prices and premium to sell this market back down. Okay, but for now, this is my area of interest. In terms of targets, same deal. We can clone our entire move, attach it, and that would bring us nicely into 1.15 prior structure here. Okay, so 1.15 is a medium-term objective here for Euro USD. Okay, and just looking at this, what I think could easily be a possibility here is trading into our level of interest, taking out this low, finally getting our overall retracement, and the continuation down. Okay, so that is EU. Again, first area of interest, second area of interest here. Okay, Aussie, okay, AUD USD. Again, we're looking for dollar longs, continuations. Okay, and so that would obviously mean XXX USD to the downside. And if you remember from a couple of weeks ago when I did my last Smart Money Sundays episode, you know that I was looking precisely at this level for selling opportunities on AUD USD. Sure enough, we trade right into that level, and you can see the engulfing candlestick here. Okay, and so where can we look to get into this market now? All right, well, we have relatively clean equal highs here. Even within these 2 wicks, we have perfectly clean equal highs. So what I think we can do is pop down, maybe sweep out these lows, and then take the liquidity resting above these highs, trading into an imbalance here. And I'm not going to go down into a lower time frame here to show you, but there is a nice imbalance here right around 7,100 that I would look to scale in as my area of interest and look for a reaction for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so I like 7,100 on AU. Again, I've done a lot of top-down analysis on these pairs. And I encourage you to pair it with your own analysis and then to mark off some of these levels that I have as areas of interest to look to scale in for entries if we get the right time and price correlation. Okay, so that's AUD USD long-term target or short to medium-term target. I'm looking to attack 6,920, where you can see we have nice clean equal lows. Very nice equal lows here at 6,920 is going to be my target for AU. Okay, so again, looking to pop up, take out these highs here, rebalance, get into premium, sell off. Okay, 7,100, again, area of interest. NZD USD. This was a beautiful sell on Friday. As you can see, we traded into 4-hour imbalance to perfection. Big buy to sell. Okay, sweeping out this liquidity. Okay, time and price, New York open, run out equal highs, fill the imbalance, buy to sell. Okay, so for NU, okay, and slightly different than AU, and they haven't been correlating perfectly lately, but still to some degree. But for NU, I'll be looking to scale in, zoom into this candle that swept liquidity and filled imbalance. Okay, so hopping down to a lower time frame. Now this one, I'm marking off 6650 as a round number as my first point of interest. Okay, because it's a round number and we have this big up close candle here from that hourly time frame. Okay, but if we zoom in to a lower time frame, what you can see is within that candlestick, okay, we have very perfect equal highs. Okay, so there is a possibility that we trade a little bit deeper into this up close candle. Okay, and I'm looking at 66588 above these equal highs. There's an imbalance as my secondary point of interest to sell this market. Okay, so I will be looking to scale in here for a continuation to the downside. Downside targets are going to be 6380. Very nice equal lows. Okay, so that is going to be the downside objective on NU. Okay, so I like the fact that we did run out liquidity on Friday, fill in our 4-hour imbalance. Okay, big buy to sell. We're trading below the EMAs. Okay, so again, looking to scale into this candle, 6650, 66588, taking out those lower time frame equal highs for a continuation to the downside. Okay. Now GBP USD. Okay, this one, haven't been really interested in cable recently. I've been more focused on kind of the euro, some of the exotics and crosses. But GU, this one, you can see we're currently creating lower lows and lower highs. I believe we're going to seek out the liquidity resting beneath these lows here, okay, as a target. I will note on the weekly time frame we did trade into imbalance here, okay, and have seen a nice reaction from that imbalance. Okay, so what I think we could possibly do, you can see that we haven't even really traded into this up close candle here on the 1-hour time frame. That did take out liquidity by more or less a pip. Okay, and so we have not traded into this candle yet, so I think there's a possibility that we pop up into it. Okay, and there's a candle in a lower time frame. When I was doing my analysis last night, that I identified, therefore marking off 1.30075 as a secondary area of interest. I'm not going to sift through all these time frames to find it right now, but just know that this is my area of interest, again, to look for continuations to the downside. Okay, so popping up, taking out this high, popping up into our area of interest, looking for that reaction to the downside to take out our equal lows. Okay, so that's GU. Again, just continuing with dollar long bias. Okay, USD CAD, I really like this one. All right, USD CAD, very similar, as you can see, to the DXY. Okay, what I think we can do here on this pair is sweep out, take out these lows here, trade into our 4-hour imbalance. We can measure 50%, 1.3250, nice round number, lining up with prior structure here. Okay, so again, looking for just a slight retracement here, coming into that imbalance for the continuation up. What we can do for targets, and we can clone this move. You can see that takes us nicely into that round number 1.3500, kind of this up close candle here for mitigation. Okay, and so again, looking to take out this high, create a new higher high coming into 1.3500. Okay, so I really think we can use this imbalance here on the 4-hour as our area of interest, as well as prior structure here. Okay, so I really like USD CAD for continuations as well. And now if we do retrace further than this level, as you can see our daily 50 EMA as well, then I will be looking at this daily down close candle as my next area of interest. Okay, either way, we are buying retracements. Buying retracements. XXX we're selling retracements. Okay, quite simple. Very simple, very straightforward. Price is painting a very clear picture and story for us. And it's just a matter of being patient, waiting for that right opportunity, and correlating time and price, and getting that continuation entry. Okay, Euro JPY. Okay, very similar to EU. We just absolutely died last week. Absolutely died last week. Okay, and so I highly doubt that we can get much of a retracement right now, because I don't think they have a need to reprice higher at the moment. I think we can continue down, as this will be our significant draw on liquidity here. 120.25, very perfect equal lows. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, if we hop down to a lower time frame, you can see very similar to EU. Okay, we ran out liquidity, New York Open on Friday. Okay, ran out liquidity, buy to sell. And I believe we traded into some imbalance as well. Might have been a 4-hour imbalance. Yep. As you can see, inefficiency here. Traded right into that, buy to sell, and engulfed. Okay, so again, we can keep trading with this lower time frame momentum until lower time frame structure breaks and we actually get that steeper retracement. I don't know, maybe into here for the continuation. But for now, we should keep looking to sell it with this lower time frame momentum. Therefore, I am looking at this 10-minute up close candle here that ran liquidity, obviously mitigated this candle, okay, and created a form of imbalance here. You can see the reaction after this up close candle. Okay, so 122, really 122.20. So we'll all be looking to scale in as an area of interest for continuations down. Okay, so I really like this one as well. GJ. Not my favorite pair. I don't really enjoy this one. It's kind of choppy, but we have created some nice lows here that we can target. Okay, but anyway, right now you can see we're trading into structure here, this lower high, lower low, trading back into it. Okay, and so on Friday, you can see that we traded into up close candle, which traded into imbalance and efficiency. Okay, and so hopping down to a lower time frame, you can see that on Friday this was that candle here on the 3-minute time frame that traded into the 1-hour candle, the open of the 1-hour candle, buy to sell. Okay, decent reaction. Okay, but again, price retraced, created equal highs, buy to sell, swept to equal highs, mitigation. Okay, so there is a chance that we simply retrace into this level for the continuation down. Okay, maintaining higher time frame structure, right? This being our lower high here. Okay, now if we do get a higher time frame retracement, okay, I will be looking to sell above these highs here. 2 hour up close candle that swept liquidity, 50%, 136.75. Okay, that's if we do get that higher time frame retracement. Okay, but I doubt that. Okay, so for me right now, in terms of the here and now, what I'm looking at is possibly this 6-minute candle that swept liquidity and mitigated. Obviously that 3-minute candle, which mitigated our 1 hour candle. Okay, or if they want to go ahead and take out this high, we do still have this 15-minute candle here. Okay, at 135.864, where we could sweep this high, mitigate, and then roll over. Okay, so that is GBP JPY. Not my favorite setup right now. Okay, but again, areas of interest, you can go ahead and mark some of these off. All right, few more pairs. Euro Canadian. I really like this one. I really like this one. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, very simple. Okay, you can see a massive daily up close candle running out all these highs. Daily candle here. Okay, and so on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, we traded into that up close candle, and I believe there was something within this wick here that we traded into. Okay, regardless, swept equal highs very nicely here, this 2 hour candle, and we have broken counter trend structure. All right, we have maintained body closures below this structure here. Okay, fully reversing out of this counter trend after sweeping this liquidity. Okay, so now what I think that we can do, I think we can go ahead, take out these highs, trade into our 2 hour candle here. As you can see, that actually within this wick, there's a lower time frame candle that actually took out the liquidity. Okay, but either way, this is my area of interest. Okay, to look for continuations down, go ahead and target 1.5390. Okay, so very nice looking trade right now on the Euro CAD. Okay, USD CHF. Again, with the dollar pairs, we're looking for retracements to buy the dollar. Okay, this one, I do think there's a potential selling opportunity, just short term, maybe intraday. I wouldn't really recommend it, but it could play out within this wick. I believe there's a, let's see, hourly. There's something within this wick on a lower time frame. I don't feel like going through all of them and looking for it, but there is something within this wick here, 9188, that I believe they could run out these equal highs that they've engineered. Okay, buy to sell, then get a retracement for a continuation up. Okay, so there could be a potential short-term shorting opportunity, okay, within this candle, which swept equal highs. Okay, so just something to be aware of. But again, we should be looking for retracements to go ahead and continue to buy the dollar. All right, so for me, I'm looking at 9,100 potentially as a continuation up. And again, not my favorite setup, okay, but just thought I'd open it up and kind of give you some of my areas of interest here on USD CHF. Okay, I believe there's an imbalance here, 9,100, that I was looking at as my area of interest. Okay, final pair, GBP CAD. Okay, GBP CAD. As you can see on this time frame here, we are currently bullish, creating higher highs and higher lows. Okay, I do think ultimately we can trade up into this liquidity here. These nice clean equal highs. I believe these will get run out at 7.4, around 7.450 can be a target. Okay, but in terms of the here and now, what I think we can do, there's a couple opportunities. 7-minute time frame. I think there is a potential shorting opportunity off of this candle that ran out liquidity, buy to sell. Okay, I think there's a short-term shorting opportunity, but again, we're bullish. So those looking to simply trade with the trend, you will probably be more interested, okay, in the buying opportunity, where I think we can go ahead and run out all of this liquidity here. Okay, trade into our 4-hour imbalance here. As you can see, very inefficient movement here. I think we need to rebalance, right? Retrace, taking out this liquidity, forming another higher low. 7,050 is my area of interest. You can go ahead and buy it up into 7,450. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, but again, all these are simply areas of interest. All right, we're looking to scale in when price trades into our areas of interest. Look for that lower time frame reaction. Okay, it's especially important to do that to kind of confirm your entries, right? Confirm that your areas of interest, that they're valid, that price is responding to those areas, is reacting strongly from those areas. Okay, then you can scale in and get an even tighter stop. Okay, but again, GBP CAD, potential short-term sell. Okay, within that 7-minute candle, it swept liquidity here. Potential short-term sell to take out this rising liquidity here to create another higher low, rebalancing the market. All right, to then go ahead and target our nice equal highs here at 7,450. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at here on GBP Canadian. Okay, so those are kind of the pairs I'm looking at. Again, I really do favor continuations to the upside on dollar. Okay, we're looking for retracements to go ahead and buy the dollar. So retracements on XXXUSD. Okay, any retracement up, we're looking to sell back down, or USD CAD or USD CHF. Okay, we're looking for retracements down to go ahead and buy back up. All right, that's kind of the theme of this week. Again, remember it's the election this week, so trade safe, trade carefully, use very prudent risk management, and as always, have a great week trading. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cover or break down for you. Okay, thanks and God bless.